What's up, everyone? Logan Shinholzer here with Contractor Growth Network, and we're about to launch somebody's new EPP website sales tool, and I want to guide you through why they went forward with this. We got Steve Griggs of Steve Griggs Design, really high-end landscape design build firm up in New York, right around the city. And he came to us because essentially, let me show you his old site. Essentially what the problem was, he was getting a lot of people coming in that had no idea his process, had no idea what his prices were. He is high end. When I show you through his site and his photos, you can see he does not mess around when it comes to quality of work and who he serves. Okay. The problem was he was getting everybody coming in. They didn't know what they wanted. They didn't know how he operated, what he cost, any of that stuff. And that was a complete waste of time. So he said, look, I just want a website that is going to pre-qualify for me. Plus, I'm also able to send them individual pages and individual processes that are specific to their overall goal, because what that will do is make my life being Steve, way simpler. So I want to show you the before and the after of everything. So let me go ahead and make myself small. So what was happening on the old site was when you come in, perception is reality here. And what I mean by that is we don't know what to do here. There's no get started, there's no this, there's no that. We have to guide people through the website. And the problem is when it's confusing on the get-go for people of, well, what do I do? Then they're automatically going to assume that there's a lack of direction when working together. So we need to make sure that we overcome that. So how do we do it? When you first come in, people have a couple options. Either they can get a quote or they can actually learn about the design process, because for him, everything has to start with a design. The old website wasn't pushing that. It was just saying, hey, give us a call, check out some of the pictures of what we can do, but it's pretty jumbled. There's no rhyme or reason to a lot of this stuff. So when people are scrolling through it, they don't really know what to do. They just see a lot of pretty pictures, but that's about it. When you come over on our stuff, we guide them through everything, right? If they want to get a quote or learn about the process, they can do that, right? Again, learn more about our design process. And here's the big thing, the big aspect of it that a lot of people forget is that this needs to be emotionally driven, right? Imagine that you're a very high-end homeowner, and in his case, his number one client, it's middle-aged women. That's who is contacting him. They want a backyard that's a destination for the family. And in this case, now that we see this, the first thing they do is they come in, they see an amazing pool. Well, guess who gets to hang out there? Family. In this case, same idea, family. Pictures are amazing for him, but the problem is we need a way to actually showcase it, that it all flows together, to not just say, check out these great pictures. It paints the vision in someone's mind of, oh, wow, this is a destination backyard, right? So a lot of the images, a lot of the text that we're using is diving deep into the real motivation behind why somebody is hiring him. They're not hiring him because they think he can build the best pool. They're hiring him because they know that when he talks to them, he can identify what their end goal really is. And for the most part, it's hanging out with family. So a lot of the lingo that we use on here focuses around family. All right, so as we come through, again, we're just trying to get people to the right page that they want to go to. Because on a site like this, it doesn't necessarily call it out. Yes, you've got some things in the top, like some aspects of how we can help, but this just talks about projects, and all this does is just shows a bunch of pictures. It doesn't actually talk about the projects themselves. And in order for homeowners to move forward, they need clarity around how the process is going to work. Let's just click pools because that's a fun one, right? So this is going to talk about the destination backyard. We need to call that stuff out, because when we don't call it out, they don't create a visual. Like right now as a contractor, I want you to stop, think about this for a second. If I said, hey, your backyard right now is a destination for everybody, you start to think in your head of your kids running around, your parents coming over to hang out with their grandkids, right? Now you're no longer splurging to go to Disney World. You're setting up your backyard so everybody can come over and hang. That's what we want to do, right? We also want to call out some of the awesome upgrades and upsells that Steve's able to help people with. right? A lot of homeowners don't think about, well, let's add water slides. Let's add automatic pool covers. Let's add in LED lights around the pool, right? And Steve feels kind of grimy reaching out to try to upsell them, quote unquote, when in reality, a lot of these things are going to make the life of the customer that much better. But even as business owners, we sometimes still get a little bit nervous about this stuff. So if we can call it out up front, the client is going to be asking us to install this, not the other way around. All right. Remember, we talked about clarity. Right now, we need to walk through how this process is going to work. Super basic. Get in touch with us, experience the design, have the vacation whenever you want. All right. The reason that we call these EPP websites is because when we come in, we need to first draw out the emotion on each one of these pages. So let me just read you something, and I want you to think about this. If you're a contractor and you do any sort of landscape design services, think about if this would resonate with your ideal client. An exotic vacation every year is something most people plan and dream about, but you know what they say, there is no place like home. What if you could recreate the exotic getaway feeling and enjoy it every day without ever leaving home? A vacation in your own very backyard? A pool is the quickest way to get your daily vacation. If you have children, spending time at the pool is always a fun time for them and the family as a whole. If you have grandkids, they'll want to come over more often if they can have fun while visiting. And if you want to catch up with your friends and family, your new pool could be the perfect reason. Just step outside and give yourself and your loved ones the ultimate vacation every day. Think about that. That's all people want, is they want to create memories. So when they go through this and they read this exact thing, now they are imagining, as a homeowner, their family, their friends, everybody hanging out. And guess what? This pool right next to it is the solution. Now we call it the common upgrades. We explain how it works. And guess what? We even go through the pricing. On this page, this website, there was no pricing. We didn't know what this stuff cost. Awesome pictures. What does it cost? We have no idea. But now what we're doing is we're building up the emotion and the intrigue. We're letting people know our process. And then the third step of the P, because it goes emotion, process, price, is pricing. By calling this out, we are now reducing sticker shock. So when somebody hops on the phone, or if Steve does a proposal, they're no longer going, oh my God, I didn't know this was going to be 200 grand. I thought we were talking 30. Well, a basic pool without landscaping starts at 65. Why would you think 30? So by using this as a sales tool, it is going to A, weed out people that have a max budget of 10, 20 grand, and B, it is going to stop sticker shock. So when you call out the price, they say, yep, that's exactly what I was expecting. All right, we show a couple more awesome images here, a couple testimonials, which will back everything up. And that's it. That's how it all works. So you'll come in, they'll get the quote. Here's a nice thing about Steve. He's ready to listen. You tell him about your project. What he's going to do is you're going to upload some photos. You're going to hit submit. It's going to send over to his email. He's going to call you. He's going to give you a call back, and he's going to say, "Hey, I want you to pull up my website, and I want to guide you through it and talk to you about all this stuff." And guess what happens? How Steve's going to do this? Let's say we go back to the pool section. Well, let's just try rooftops. How about that? He's going to walk through, and he's going to guide you through the website. And essentially, he could very easily say something like, "Hey, do me a favor. I want you to read that first paragraph. I want you to tell me what your thoughts are." And they're going to read it, and they're going to say, "Yep, this is exactly what I want. This is why I want it." And you're going to say, "Perfect." Now let's scroll down a little bit more. Do any of these things interest you? And they're going to say, "Well, I would love a privacy fence, and I'd like to talk to you about some seating areas." And he's just going to keep guiding you down the page more and more and more, and let the website do all the heavy lifting, right? Steve doesn't have to be an awesome salesman. He just has to know how to guide you. And then you keep guiding down. He guides you down to the pricing section. And you're going to say as a homeowner, either, "Wow, that's a lot of money," or you're going to say, "Okay, that fits perfectly. I'm thinking 50 grand. Okay, great. Let's talk about what 50 grand will get you." Scroll down a little bit more. You see that first top right picture? That's about 60 grand. Okay, perfect. That makes sense. So essentially what you're doing is you're allowing the right people to come into your world as a contractor. And then on top of that, you're using the website again to further pre-qualify them. This old site, it looks nice because it has these great pictures, but unfortunately, there is no pre-qualification side of it. There is no sales side of it. It's just a nice picture brochure. So that is Steve Griggs' design. That is the whole problem of bringing people in that didn't know pricing, didn't know processes, didn't know what exactly he could do or how he can help. This new site will alleviate any of that. Plus, he gets to use it again on the back end as a sales and pre-qualification tool. I hope that makes sense. Thank you very much.